Bitch, I'm a monster. Swiss coat archer. Kit Kat noose with the bow. Stop it.
All right, I got an idea. All right. I think our interview, just thought of this now. Or our podcast should be like, hello, welcome to the, and then we point back here, animation, you know? Well, we are Polo Lewis.
Ah.
You know?
Yeah, well,
So it's like, your name is...
Hey, what's up? I'm Julian.
My name is Ephraim.
And...
welcome to the We Are Polo Lewis podcast.
Hey, what's up?
Hey. So we'll fill in that space
We'll
there.
work on that. I like that idea.
It's not bad, right? Just like a little floating animation.
We need an animation, but
We can
we'll figure that out.
Wah.
We have computers.
What?
We have computers.
We have computers.
What's up, everybody? It's whatever day it is.
It's whatever day you're
Watching this on.
You're watching this on.
Hello.
Be that a Tuesday afternoon or a Friday evening.
Yeah, or just in the middle of the day on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows, you know?
Could be any of those times.
Yeah.
Maybe you're floating in like a space, like a liminal space in which like time doesn't exist.
Maybe you're floating in actual space on your way to Mars.
Whoa.
Because we figured that out. And you're nostalgic for old Earth content.
Yeah. Shout out our future space
Yeah.
traveler friends.
I don't know if I'm going.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll think about it.
I feel like I haven't explored Earth enough.
I'm not going on the first trip for sure.
Yeah.
I'll go on round like 6. Iron out some kinks.
Yeah. Like started to actually put scheduled dates in that.
There's been some problems.
Yeah.
We figured out the problems.
They
We
worked
lost a mission. There's the whole thing. Oof.
They worked out a deal with Ticketmaster.
There's like a commercial option.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through like astronaut training so much. They just put you through like one of those gyro things where they spin you around.
Yeah.
They're like, are you good? You're like, yeah. And they're like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be tight. To wherever you are, whatever day it is, whatever existence or plane you're currently watching this on. Hello, and welcome to the We Are Polo Lewis podcast.
Hello, this is the We Are Polo Lewis podcast, a podcast where we, the creators behind Polo Lewis, talk to you about how difficult it is to make an animated character.
To all you art students, yeah, good job. Smart job, kid. So you guys in animation courses right now?
No. So we, like 5 years ago at this point almost, decided that we wanted to make a character who would be the face of our music project.
Yes.
Because we had this music that we were making like together that didn't really sound like either of us like individually.
No.
So it didn't make sense for like me to put it out. And it didn't make sense for like you to put it out as you.
Yeah.
And so we had to make up a thing. A third thing. And so initially we just had a pseudonym and we were just going to make weird mystery content. Like a dude with a hood on.
Like after the party.
Yeah. Or a marshmallow.
Banksy.
Yeah.
More of an anonymous figure.
An enigma.
Early weekend.
Before people knew who he was.
Before people knew who he was.
Yeah. So that was the idea initially. But then we changed the name. We changed the name to Polo Lewis.
Polo Lewis.
And Polo Lewis sounded like a dude. Like just an actual person.
What also just sounded like a character. I want to know who Polo Lewis is.
And we just started to make up who Polo Lewis might be.
Yeah.
And figured that drawing him would be the easiest way to make him be real.
Yep.
What we didn't count on was animation being a whole thing. Expensive, time-consuming, many things.
Not to devalue what you animators are doing. You guys
no, 100%. This is what we're actually valuing heavily. What you guys?
Yeah, exactly.
this is what we're talking about. We fucking
kind of hard.
Yeah, we were like, oh yeah, this will be. We have computers. We can
figure it out.
There's programs that do this now. I'm sure we're like almost at the point where we can just do this ourselves.
Yeah.
Pretty easily.
Yeah.
That was the idea.
That's what we thought.
Here we are, 5 years now. Have you really heard of us or seen any animated stuff?
Maybe now because they're in space.
If you're watching this from space, then you know about Polo Lewis, the movie. If you're watching this soon after it comes out, then you may or may not have seen anything move yet. But we're getting there. We are getting there, and that's what we're here to talk to you about.
It's all possible, guys.
Everything's possible.
It's all possible.
All you got to do is set your mind to stuff. There was a lot of questions that we didn't have answers to right off the beginning.
No.
And
we didn't even know this shit actually already existed.
Yeah, but I think the thing for us was that we had to be okay with not knowing a lot of those answers and just be like, okay, we have time though. You know what I mean? We'll set ourselves a time goal and like we have this much time. We have years, in fact, to figure this stuff out.
Yeah.
Start working on it.
Yeah. I already know those kinks.
Started by figuring out what stuff was called.
Yep.
How do you refer to things in animation, like the difference between like background and like character design and character animation.
Importance of like perspectives as well.
2D versus 3D, like all of this stuff.
Styles.
This is all stuff that like we didn't even think about.
No, we didn't. We were just like,
we'll just make an animated character. It'll be great.
That's the thing. That's all that it took.
What kind of animated character? Right? So yeah, this is the stuff that took us the interim 3-4 years to figure out. But now we're here at the part where we're telling you guys about it because we've done all of this work to get to an actual place where there's a thing.
So there is something to show you guys.
Hello. But yeah,
and we're finally at the place where I think we've tried a lot of different versions of this project.
Yeah.
What we're doing now is taking all this shit that we've pitched to each other at random times and fleshed out and stuff, and we're just like, here's what we're doing. Come join us.
Yep.
Come be a part of this thing, because I think it's finally ready to just at least be in the ether or whatever. It's in the stream of the zeitgeist. I don't know, whatever word you would use to describe it. And I think... yeah, it's taken a long fucking time. Taken a long Not to say it's bad. It's just, it takes longer than you think it will.
It always does.
It's like you're like, whatever you think.
I would say just give yourself permission to take time to answer questions for yourself that you like don't have the answers to. You know what I mean? I think if you have large goals, you should also give yourself like large time windows. Yeah. Right? It's silly to be like, I'm going to make $1 million next month. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you have a business setup that sells at $100,000 a month right now, maybe you have the potential to scale to do that currently. Right. But I don't think most people with a regular job can be like, I'm going to start drop shipping next month and I'm going to make $1 million. I don't think that is a realistic. I think $1 million is an entirely realistic goal. I think you can decide that you can make $1 million, or you can decide that you're going to make $1 million, and that you can make that happen 100%. Yeah. I think that giving yourself an amount of time to do that that's realistic, not only key to the success of that goal, but like key to like your belief in your ability, to succeed at that goal. Mm-hmm. I think you're like, okay, right now, I'm not a person who could make $1 million in a year, but in 5 years, I want to make $1 million. Yeah. Like it's 2024 right now. In 2029, I want to make $1 million that year. And then you got to figure out, like, working backwards, right? What the amount per month that you have to make is to make $1 million in the year. Yep. Like it's 100,000 or so. A little bit less. Yep. Yeah. These are the things, right? And so you have to understand that, like, doing $100,000 per month in revenue, or like in profit, or in our case, we had to do $200,000 a month in extra profit. Right. Because we split everything 50-50. Right. Right. So in order for you to get $100,000 a month, there has to be an extra $200,000 a month.
Probably plus of that.
In the project. Yeah. For us to do that. Yeah. Right? And so, like, right now, we don't even play shows.
We haven't done a show in months.
And it was outside.
No. Free. We did.
Oh, yeah, we did
do that one in Junction.
We did a Junction show. It
was cool.
We did one venue show once. I think aside from an open mic, that's the only time we played in a venue ever as a project. And this is entirely intentional on our part because like we want to do something that visually represents the project when we do a venue show. And this is the reason that we've been resistant to this up until this point.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like one time.
Yeah.
One time we played in a venue. So I think like that's the move of the year is getting ourselves into some venues and playing some shows.
Yeah.
And like getting out on the scene in such a way that like people know who we are, other musician people know who we are, other like pop acts who are coming up in the city know who we are because they're like, oh, these guys are cool. I want to be like those guys. I want to do a show with those guys.
Yeah, like a well-run machine that's like fairly engaging.
Yeah, I think like we said, we have a high standard for ourselves in terms of the visual representation.
Yep.
And I think show craft in general, just because I think, and I said this very early on when we started working together, is I think the show is missing from the show. I'm seeing so many people just like they show up with a DJ and like themselves, and then they play their tracks, and then they hop around and they expect like the lights and like the fact that they're on a big video screen to fill in the gaps for the rest of the performance. And I'm like, where? So like
very like bare minimum.
Yeah, and I'm a theater kid. I grew up in the fucking drama classes, and I went to Rosedale. I snuck into the auditorium all the time to just hang out in there because it's like a cool place to be. I just love putting on a cool show that with cool things where you like the staging is cool. Yep. Like the choreography is cool. Right. The lights are cool. Everything is there's a super high level of performance, and I think Beyoncé is like the pinnacle of this in terms of like putting on a fucking really theatrical performance of her music.
There's a lot of like I've only seen clips that you've shown me, stuff that I've seen online, but it's very dynamic. Yeah. And there's a lot of parts moving, you get a lot of screens, you get like a lot of dances, cool like installation fixture stuff.
Justin Timberlake again, like the whole thing is a spectacle. The stage is a spectacle, the lights are a spectacle. Yeah. The fucking video team is giving you a spectacle in the fucking movie of the show that you're currently watching, like being projected really fucking big everywhere, and the whole thing is going down all in real time right in front of you. Right. Yeah, just on a super high level, like everyone, like it's 40 or 50 people all performing at their highest level right now, and I think that for me is way more exciting than you and your hit song. Yeah. And you've taken a couple Xannies backstage and you're hopping around with your sunglasses on.
Yeah. I think there's a level that you can do that till though. And listen, I think the type of artist.
I get it. And I understand that some artists who are like just trying to be in the club or just trying to make music so that they can get bitches or like whatever your motivation is, like whatever your why is for what you're doing is, like there's reasons to be that type of artist. Right. And also, I understand that not everybody is, like, super musically talented or super theatrical or super into all of the dramatics and all of that stuff. Like, I understand that's not for everybody. And so, like, I'm not saying that every project...
Yeah, you find your lane.
Yeah, I'm, like... But, like, Tyler, the creator, fucking built a weird house on his stage.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, this is the type of shit that I love.
It's a little bit of extra effort.
I fuck with that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you said, you're a theater kid. There's a lot of set design. There's a lot of, like, performative aspect to it.
Yeah. And I think that's missing from, like, a small show for sure. And it's definitely missing from, like, a mid-level artist. Like, you have to go see a big show before you're going to get that kind of level of... And I think that... is a hole in the market. That was my theory. Yeah. When we started the project is I think fucking if you do all of the production stuff like for a fucking the Rivoli show. Yeah. I think that makes you stick out because people are like, I went to the Rivoli and I saw something that I've never fucking seen.
Yeah, exactly.
That was hella crazy.
Yeah.
There was a whole ass hologram.
Yeah.
It was nuts. It was nuts. Those guys are nuts. Yeah. The lights were nuts.
Yep.
The fucking music was very good.
The show was good. The arrangement was good. It's the performative.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the stuff.
Yeah.
And
no,
I think
that makes a lot
that's
of sense.
what makes me excited about seeing a show.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me excited about putting on a show. Like I would love to deliver that level of excitement to someone else. Like I love Cirque du Soleil type of fucking shit.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
I think the weirdest thing about Cirque du Soleil, like in a normal circus, it's like animals and like motorcycles and like stunts and stuff.
Yeah. It's
Everything in Cirque du Soleil is just
acts.
just human beings like doing weird shit with their bodies.
Yeah.
And that's so fucked. But yeah, I like it's that weird like extra layer of creativity in like the control of the entire experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe the hallway on the way into the venue has an installation and there's fucking like lights like taking you down like a fucking like a psychedelic tunnel as you like enter so that you've gone through a portal in order to enter like the Plutoverse. Yeah. And then all the walls have the scenery projected on it.
Yeah. We could do that at fucking Riverly for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good space for it. It's just like a box.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just a box. But this is the sort of stuff that like if it happened at a small venue like Horseshoe or Rivoli or something, like it would be a standout.
Right.
Like for everybody. Like the venue would remember it. The fucking people who went there would remember it.
Yep.
And I think that's the sort of thing that I want to do that makes it like a little bit cooler than just, oh, this band was really good.
Yeah.
I love playing in a really good band. Listen, I've been in a lot of bands.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to do cool shit like performance-wise at the same time as playing really good music. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think, like you said, like, there's the lack of hole, or there's like the hole in the market. And like certain people, I feel like a lot of it does come down to the budget thing and how do you do something that's
100%.
like transportable. That's a big thing. Like I think, obviously Beyonce, they got these fucking trucks that they can do it.
But they build that stage every time they do that show. So
exactly.
yeah, like that's a level of...
That's the traveling.
Yeah. Like we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. And I think a small arena tour is like in the realm of doability, like sooner than later type of thing. Because I think we're the type of show that we're the type of brand that makes sense at a scale, but B also like has the potential to be like family friendly enough that you'd bring like your kids or at least your teenagers to it, but then also have the reach to 30-40-year-olds who remember stuff like this and think that it's cool.
Market, we're coming for everybody.
Yeah. Probably your 60-year-old grandma's not gonna come. She might come. She might fuck with it.
For sure.
But yeah, like I was saying, like a small arena would definitely give us like the customizability of venue and of stage and of all of the things to do a really cool presentation of this idea. And I think like for those reasons it makes more sense for us to do a show like that than it makes for fucking a little small town acoustic act or whatever. Yeah. Like this is what I'm saying. Like scale is all relative, and if you're like a folk artist and you just want to be well known like across your country perhaps and be able to show up in whatever town and play in a bar and have 40 or 50 people like have a really good time listening to you, you know what I mean? That's totally fine. And I don't think you have to do much in terms of like spending a lot of money on marketing or spending a lot of money on staging or production for your show to get to where you're trying to go, if that's where you're trying to go. Yeah. And this is what we're talking about in terms of being very specific about your own goals. Yeah. Is that if our goal is large, like a small arena tour, then we have to do bigger things and sooner than you might have to if you're just playing in a bar band and that's what you're trying to do. Yeah.
We've talked about choosing your direction and really defining what success looks like to you. Obviously, we've both grown up with surrounded by a lot of different pop culture. Yep. We've seen a lot of artists do it in several different sizes. And I think Yeah, I think we both really came from like understanding like performance and the importance of the performative arts, and that I think, yeah, there's a bit of extravagance in this project, I think.
Yeah.
And we want to, it's a lot of cool and big ideas. And I think what we always want to do is be like, try to be on the cutting edge of things and try to be coming to you with like original ideas or maybe developed ideas.
Yeah.
And really think out what we're doing in order to present like the best quality show for you guys.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, there's going to be a lot of different versions of it.
I feel like a salesman right now that's like selling an empty sales floor.
Yeah.
I'm telling you about a car that's going to be really good.
Yeah. But this is it.
And like we've been feeling like this for 4 years.
Yeah.
We got a really good idea
Yeah.
like a year into the project.
Yep.
And then we've been spending the interim time like filling in the like scaffold and the skeleton.
Yep.
That is the thing that we keep pointing at.
Yeah. It's right. I swear to God, it's right behind this curtain. It's right behind this curtain. I guarantee it.
But yeah, that's been like the feeling of trying to like manifest this thing.
Yeah.
From it literally felt like it was just something that I talked about
Yep.
for a good like year and a half.
Yep.
Like we want to make an animated character was the sentence that I kept saying.
Yeah, it's we're trying to figure out how to do this thing.
Yeah.
But it's at the same time there's I think a lot about how it's a lot just starting anything that you want to be consistent, anything that you want to like maybe even make some money off of, like
Mostly that thing.
I think that thing is really that's a
Consistency
really big
and
part.
quality is easy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's easy. If you're good,
If you know how to
if
do
you're
it.
good, quality is easy. And then consistency is just practice. So let's say you want to consistently release a track every week or something for the next 2 years. I would wager that if you're a good musician and if you do that, if you get a distro kid and like next week you start putting out a song and the week after that you put out another song.
Yep.
In 2 years,
Yeah.
you're probably going to have a good number of monthly listeners.
Yeah.
And I think that is like as viable a path as any.
Yeah.
But I also think that
With
like
the caveat that you are developing and you're getting better and you're spending like you're developing, because I think it's an important thing. I think there's this idea of sorry, I don't mean to
well, I think if you're a lo-fi producer, you could just put out the same
Yeah.
vibe of lo-fi track every week.
Yeah.
For 2 years,
Yeah.
and you'd gain a pretty decent following. Like,
Yeah.
in the same way. Like I think it works regardless. It's the
Yeah.
consistency that's the key thing, right?
Right.
If people keep seeing you come across their desk or keep
Right.
seeing you in their Discover Weekly or like the
Right.
third time they see your artist name, they're like, oh yeah, this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Like fucking I've seen this guy a couple of times. Like
Yeah.
Lo-Fi Tuesdays. Love that guy. Whatever, right? Yeah, I don't think it necessarily needs to evolve or necessarily needs to get more complex or necessarily needs to even do anything other than just continually to be of a consistent quality and a consistent I can count on it to arrive every week on Friday or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's sorry, and the reason why I'm just like being so weird about this stuff is because I think there's a lot of there are projects that are in their 4th and 5th year that are still doing 200-300 plays.
No, 100%.
On their stuff. And
I mean,
so I'm not
we're one of them.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's one of the things. Like, it will get you to a point. And, like, being consistent and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there needs to be... It's, like, without listing out every single thing that needs to be done, there is more to that. And it's... If you just want to be someone who's putting out music...
Yeah.
Like, if you're just like, I love making music... But I don't like keeping it in my archives or my drives.
So I think this is what
I
think this is what I was saying, right?
Yeah.
If it's as simple as just releasing the music,
Yeah.
and all you want to do is just put a song on
Yeah.
Spotify, if you can do that sustainably for
Gotcha.
2 years,
I see what you mean.
with the $9 DistroKid membership per month,
Right.
and the frickin' whatever it costs you to run your home studio,
Yeah.
right? If you can do that for 2 years, I feel like in 2 years you're going to be doing real well, regardless of whether or not that's your goal. And I think if you're trying to perform live,
Yeah.
or you're trying to have a heavy visual representation of your project.
Right.
That's not just regular music videos. Then you have added layers of complication, right, to that.
Yeah.
And then it becomes, it's less of a, you're right? So
more variables.
In order for us to consistently release a music video, like every week, for example, for 2 years, and I say music video because we have a fucking animated character as part of the project. So we have to, even if it's just a visualizer, we have to put something up.
Yeah, there needs to be
with
something.
him in it.
Yep.
So that it feels like a piece of Polo Lewis.
Yeah.
As a project. So this is why it's taken us so long, because we have to figure this other thing out. And yes, we're getting to the place where we can regularly give you something, right, on a schedule.
Yeah.
With a consistent quality.
Yeah.
Right. And that's been the major holdup. And this is why we're 5 years into this bitch.
Right.
And it's just going to look like we just showed up, like, by the end of 2024.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one of the things I think you and I did argue about that a lot at the beginning.
Oh, 100%.
I think there's a lot of stuff that we have that's unrelleased.
We've gone through periods of releasing stuff like on a regular basis and then stopping.
Yeah.
And then like we tried to put something out once a month for most of a year, which we did.
Yep.
And we
that
stopped,
worked.
That worked okay, but then we stopped doing that.
Yep.
And then we didn't release anything for a year and a half. And then we fucking did a whole season of releasing music this last summer, which was more focused, where we were trying to figure out marketing and stuff a little bit more. And I think that was the real eye-opener.
Yeah, that was like it actually does.
Oh, okay.
This is why none of the stuff is actually like getting to people.
Yeah.
Right? And we did some attempts. I think we tried some ideas.
You can make lots of TikToks.
Yeah. You can make...
again, if you just want to release a song a week for 2 years, I don't think you have enough time to make all of the TikToks that you need to have one of those songs blow up. Because you just have a week before it's time to start promoting the next song.
Yeah.
And so then, unless you're going to pick one or two of them and make TikToks about them for a few months at a time, not all of them are going to get their fair shake at being the one.
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing that we all have to like be okay with. These things are our babies.
Yeah.
But they're not all just going to be received in the best way based on how we put them out, based on how we promote them, based on whether people feel the same way that we do about them, even if we did put all the right promo and the right article writing and the right podcasts into it.
You're going to release duds.
Yeah.
You're going to release tracks that you thought were fire.
You're going to release whole albums.
You're going to release tracks that you didn't think were fire and then found out that they were fire.
You're going to release joke tracks that you thought were jokes, and then people are going to fucking ask you at your shows why you're not playing those songs.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, what are you?
I didn't know that you wanted that song.
That's, wow.
And so, what's the moral of this?
We've just been rambling at this point. But I think generally we've just been complaining about like how long it takes to actually get this done. And I think this is actually poignant because the Grammys this year, everyone's 40, 45 years old. Victoria Monet, Best New Artist, 45 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Not crazy. She's been doing it for 15 years.
Wow. She's
been working her ass off for 15 years to get to the place where she can get Best New Artist at the Grammys.
4 or 5?
You heard me. You heard what I said.
Nice. Okay.
So this is what I'm saying. Like, it takes a long time to get your shit to a place where you're going to get your flowers for it, like in a public sense. And I feel like all of these like flash in the pan like viral artists, right? Like you see them come up, but then you never hear about them again. There's so many people that I heard about like during the pandemic or like even slightly before the pandemic, like who were so fucking viral. No idea where they are. I don't even remember who they are now.
The Island Boys.
The Island Boys have managed to stay viral by like doing weird things, like starting an OnlyFans where they kiss themselves or kiss each other.
Do you
listen? If you kiss if you're kissing your twin brother on the internet, people are gonna be like, "Oh, yo," this is for me an indication of what it takes for them to stay relevant, right? in a culture that's like ready to forget about any
Yeah.
fucking like that was a stupid 15-second video that we watched.
Yeah.
That we all walled at.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even good. They got a record deal off of it.
Yeah.
They're fucking famous as hell. You know what I mean? What the hell's going on? What are we doing?
I didn't know the Island Boys were still relevant.
Yeah.
What's up, Island Boys?
No.
Okay, now what's up, Island Boys? Cut that out.
Yeah. I think the problem is that longevity isn't built on virality. And I think that if you go viral, the only thing that people are interested in is if you can go viral again in the same way, or if you can get something that's as viral or more viral the next time.
Well, this is
right?
Lil Nas X. This man just out viraled himself.
Yeah, Lil Nas X, or like Jake is another good one.
Jake, yep.
You know what I mean? I think, I feel like Jake might make it out.
Down, up, down,
Yeah.
up, down.
Because he's just like genuinely like a good musician. So I think he's like a smart person.
Yeah.
And he's using marketing really effectively right now. But I think that like he's doing what he can to make the relationships that he needs right now to stay around, at least as like a producer, if not as a writer, artist person. Right?
Like Bozzy really did that.
Yeah.
Bozzy came in.
Yeah.
You can get in on just like fire songs.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you got back-to-back bangers, like you can, and if you figured out your process, mostly, because...
No. Like, I've heard so many bangers from just like nobody artists you've never heard of before. And maybe there's a 1-2 thing that could have used a tweak. If you just leaned on the tune a little more, if you fucking got a better performance out of that guitar player, like whatever it was. But I've also heard like immaculate records,
right,
from just people that you've never fucking heard of.
Oh yeah,
and the reason is they don't know how to do marketing, and they don't know that you can hire people who know how to do marketing to do your marketing for you. And they don't know how important that is.
Yeah. To have a career in this industry.
It's because the myth that goes around musician circles is if you're just good.
Yeah.
And if you're just really fucking good.
Yeah.
If you're so talented that it's like undeniable how talented you are, someone is going to come along.
Right.
Like a magical elf.
Yeah.
And
hello there. I'm Mr. Tumnus.
Fix all your dreams.
Yeah.
They're just going to sort everything out for you. You know what I mean? And this is a dangerous myth.
Yeah.
Because what it does is it makes really talented people really complacent and then really,
heavily focused on one area.
But then also really disheartened when they don't see the results from their output that they're trying to get, you know?
It's just like if you spend your entire time in similar circles and in your room practicing, those are the people that are going to see you do these things. Even as a gigging musician, which you are, like you have to be known as a person more than just a drummer.
No, for sure.
Like it's important that people know the quality that you can bring to any show, but it's important mostly that people just know that you exist, right?
Right. This is the thing. Like, it's okay that if the people that play with you or the people that already know that you're good at the drums know that you're good at the drums or know that you're good at singing or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's equally important that new people who've never met you before know that as well. And they can't find you if they're not like friends of your friends on your Facebook. And so this is why like marketing is literally you just got to spend money on getting new eyes on your shit. And fucking TikTokers have figured this out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They make dumb videos of them dancing around. And they understand this principle better than a lot of musicians.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Because this is a reality to them.
Yeah.
And it's like not a reality to musicians because they choose to be in denial.
Yeah. I had a thought and I lost it.
Just Toronto musician syndrome. No, that's not Toronto musician syndrome. I'll tell you what Toronto musician syndrome is on another episode because that's a whole bucket of worms. We'll get into that. We're
getting to that time.
We're basically getting there. But it's a solid little rant for this episode.
Hopefully you stayed till the end. You can subscribe.
No,
comment and share.
We'll try and wrap it up in a positive way. Yeah, I just think, like, we all need to learn what business that we're actually in. And if you're not constantly putting your music and yourself as a musician or as a creative in places where people are always discovering new music, right, then you can't continue to gain new eyes, right? And if you're not always gaining new eyes, then you're not growing. And so that's the key to being a successful music project or a successful like event business, which is what we truly are, is always attracting new people to participate in this experience and trade their hard-earned dollars for your like ethereal value products.
Yeah, here you go, an experience. A memory. Here's your memory.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed it.
So yeah, I think we talk about investing in yourself a lot.
Yep.
On this podcast, and like how you got to come to terms with just spending a lot of money on stuff. But marketing is one of those things, and it's going to be one of the more important things that you need to make a budget for, like, real soon.
Yeah. Get a grant,
play some shows, and use the money that you make at the shows to market your next EP. There's ways to generate this money. Yeah. I'm not saying that you have to just have thousands of dollars in your pocket immediately.
Yeah.
Figure out what it costs to run some ads. Figure out what it costs to hire a PR company in your city, and then set that number as a target, right? Make yourself a marketing budget. Oh, we're going to use $2,000 for this. Grassroots marketing is like the postering company is $2,500 or whatever. And frickin' we're gonna use this PR company at $1,000 per month.
Yeah.
All that's like $4,500. So let's raise $5,000 in marketing budget.
Yeah.
And then now you have a target for your marketing so that you can be like, okay, we play a show a month and we make about $500 like in extra show profit. So fucking at that point, we can put $500 a month away towards this $5,000. How many shows away are we from raising the $5,000?
Exactly.
10 shows.
Yeah.
In 10 shows, we'll be able to market the EP.
Yeah.
Or whatever, right? And so this is how you can set yourself little goals and achieve your budgets in a way that doesn't come directly out of your pocket, because you have to be able to generate the income that you require with the project. And like we might be talking about, you make $50 a show, and so you're doing 100 shows in order to get to that $5,000. What are your numbers? This is where you start, right? If we're ignoring the realities, then we're not progressing forward.
Sure.
And so this is it. But yeah, I think we should do an intro, because now we know what we talked about. And then we'll be like, on this episode,
I really gotta pee.
Yeah,
so we should do that one swift.
Well, what do we talk about?
What did we talk about? That's a good question. Sorry, I really need to pee. Today we're going to be talking about how to remember things.
Wow.
At the end of a...
Wow.
Trying to figure out...
No. So
we talked about performance.
Yeah,
we talked about performance.
We talked about performance.
Yeah.
Then we talked about marketing.
We talked about performance. We talked about marketing. We talked about investing in yourself.
Which seems to be a constant theme on the podcast.
It is.
That seems to be a good list. Okay. Are you ready?
Performance marketing, invest. Did we talk about
performance marketing, investing in yourself?
Is there anything else?
I think that was it.
Okay.
Performing.
Did we talk about
like in scale maybe?
Scale. Yeah, we talked about scaling. A lot more choose your own adventure kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what? General ideas. We're not going to hit it all once. What up?
What's up, YouTube?
It is Ephraim.
I'm Julian.
And welcome to the
We Are Polo Lewis
podcast.
Hey.
Today we're going to be talking about performance and scaling.
Yeah, scaling your project, and we're going to talk a little bit about investing in yourself, which seems to be a bit of a constant theme.
We've been talking about that quite a bit
in the project. We're also going to talk about marketing, because marketing is really important.
Yeah, marketing is huge.
Yeah.
Marketing is a big part of just getting your project seen by other people. Yeah. Marketing as a project and marketing even as a person.
Exactly.
And
so these are the things we're gonna get into on today's episode.
Hopefully you like it.
Let's get into it.
All right.